It's been 47 days since Genesis, a crypto exchange, has halted withdrawals. This affects over 340,000 people who placed their funds here. Cameron Winklevoss, founder of Gemini, is asking Digital Coin Group, the parent company, if they will pay back their $1.1 billion promissory note by January 8th or not. There's only one thing that sums that up, and that's this. Here we go again. Let's dive in. So Digital Currency Group, who is the owner of the parent company, I guess, not the owner, the parent company of Gemini, where all the money that has been kind of missing and withdrawal has been halted, they have till January 8th to resolve the Gemini Earn issues. Digital Coin Group owes its subsidiary Genesis $1.67 billion. He added that part of this debt was Gemini Earn users' funds. Where have we heard this before? Looks like the accusations are flying as well. Winklevoss said DCG used the loan to fuel greedy share buybacks, illiquid venture investments, and kamikaze grayscale NAV trades that balloon the free blah, 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 all at the expense of its creditors. Oh my God, AKA they're doing some degen shit. Listen, it's a game of he said, she said. It's one of those things. You know, Gemini saying, that's Gemini. We loan them $1.6 billion. And this is DCG. Money's flowing down, something like that. You see that kind of stuff. You can see here, this is the CEO, Barry Silbert. DCG did not borrow $1.6 billion from Genesis. And then Cameron Winklevoss. What about the $1.1 billion promissory note? So it does get a little complicated. But at the end of the day, it's our people playing with user funds. It's against the law. So that's what we're going to try to find. That's what they're going to try to find out. That's what we're going to see. That's how that's where that's going. So what are some possible outcomes to this? Well, this guy here, this Ram, I'm going to butcher the name, Alualui. He's a CFA, looks like. Anyways, there's a crypto CFA, so he starts delving into this, certified financial analyst. So the question here is, will the company file Chapter 11 bankruptcy? But he's saying that the cost of Chapter 11 is more costly than accepting the creditor community terms. He's basically saying that the Genesis liabilities will have to be paid out over many years. So that's going to be painful for management compensation and shareholders. It looks like Grayscale is generating about $175 million a year with all the math here. But basically he's saying that it's going to take, the net income from Grayscale is going to take several years to pay back the liabilities. And he's basically saying there's just not a near-term cash flow, not enough of it to make everyone happy. The creditors hold all the cards, and it looks like everyone's just hiding in the bushes. Basically, Digital Coin Group will be in a state of indentured servitude to its debt holders, including the subsidiary Genesis. Funny to see that the only get-out-of-jail-free card, which is quite literal these days, I think, is the Fed pivots and the price of Bitcoin somehow gets back to all-time highs. That's part of it. He's basically saying that DCG is a levered bet on Bitcoin, both directly via fee-generating mechanism of Grayscale and indirectly through its holdings of GPTC. They got so much on there. So at the end of the day, they need capital, right? How are they going to get it? What's going to happen is an injection of new capital can solve these issues, but at a massive cost of dilution for DCG. So basically, they're going to have to bring on a private equity firm or a VC and say, listen, man, we're going to take a big chunk of your company to help solve this out. They're probably sitting there reading this thread, just kind of something like this right here, don't you know? Before we jump into some of the memes that are coming out, some of them are pretty good. I'm just going to give a quick hot take here, but it's like, listen, man, we've seen this before. We've seen this before with FTX. We've seen this before with a bunch of different, NFT projects. This happens all the time, and it's a little bit of a smaller scale. But the hot take is, listen, they're all scammers. And when billions are on the line, people seem to have no problem straight up lying. I mean, look at FTX. He's sitting there playing League of Legends while he's talking on Twitter Spaces. One thing for sure, though, is to just keep tabs on this issue because, we all seen what happened. I got a video previously that showed the price of Solana drop as FTX went insolvent and all that. It's bad. It creates a lot of buying opportunities. Solana was a tough one because it's gone. That coin, if it doesn't have that much backing anymore, such as from FTX, like, where's it going to go? There's not a lot. There's some going on in the ecosystem, but this is talking about, like, GPTC, so Grayscale Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure it's tied to Bitcoin. I don't know all the details about it. But listen, at the end of the day, they have a lot of assets in there, and it's going to make a good buying opportunity if they do go insolvent. Man, some of these are good. This True Alpha is talking about the letter that he just put out. You are putting your funds into Gemini Earn And the Winklevosses are wording it like you deposited into Barry, the CEO of DCG. You deposit it right into Barry's bank account. Couple alarm bells going off here. Justin Sun, one of the founders of Tron. I think it's the top 20 coin. And Huobi. I don't know much about them. I've heard of them lots, but basically saying this is a difficult time for the entire crypto industry and we stand together. We believe it is important to come together and support one another in a time of crisis. Man, here we go. Obviously, some of these going around. Karma getting bonked, which is another thing. Ace 3AC is dead. FTX is dead. Genesis is a dead man walking. Gemini is up next. Well, let's hoping that this just ends with this. What a shitty money management. More CeFi will fail, yeah. We'll end it with this one here. But dear Barry, I wrote you, but you still ain't calling. I left my cell number and email and telegram at the bottom. I sent $900 million back into Autumn. You must not have got them. There was probably a problem with your subsidiary or something. Listen, at the end of the day, you see me laughing about this stuff. It's not funny. It is a lot of people's money. I did take all my stuff off CeFi. I wasn't ready for this to even just try to stomach some of the risk that's going on with some of these CeFi exchanges. You know, you see a lot of this stuff. People on Twitter, all you see is just people pointing at each other. That's absolutely what's going on all the time. And then, you know, my spidey sense is tingling. So, like, I'm getting out. So, I feel for the people. There's 340,000 people in Gemini Earn that's affected at this. I'm hoping that this comes to... comes better. There was a lot of sad stories about some of the FTX stuff and people with money on there. It does hurt, and it does hurt the industry. We need to do a little bit better. And listen, man, if we're gonna if we're gonna grow this industry, this stuff can't be happening every time there's a little bit of a downturn. If you like this content, hit that subscribe button. We're going to jump into a crypto market summary here quickly, where we just look over some of the coins and you know, we look at some bond rates, we look at NFT floor prices, just quickly. Typically I go through a bunch of Excel sheets that I have and I just track my data. I did want to show that I am building something here. So I built this little dashboard here that's going to be used in the future. I only got the coins working right now. I'm working on the NFT floor price, but you can kind of see it's the exact same as the spreadsheet. So you'll see in a second. Some of these things are still wrong. I just got this kind of working. So it's kind of nice to be able to, like, whatever we're going to put up. You can make your own and whatnot. Going to be local right now for a while until I get more figured out, but I just wanted to give it a shot. Here's what we're seeing today. We got $840 billion market cap on the coins. Solana's pumping back up. I think there's a little bit to do there with some shit coins called Bonk. It was a big one. A lot of people made a lot of money on it. Other than that, kind of flat around there. Shit coins, we're seeing about 3.4 million. That doesn't capture that Bonk. I didn't see it in there. But marketplaces, we're looking 34 million. Still Blur leading the pack. OpenSea, you know, it's still coming up. Blur's coming down a little bit. I think the tax stuff and airdrop farming probably has a little bit to do with it. Commodity prices, we're still seeing European gas prices plummet. That's good. Pretty flat other than that. Bonds peaked at 4.43 as a local top. That inverse is still pretty high, 0.57. And floor prices, so here's where we look at the summation of the floor price. The floor price is coming up, so big ones, Port Apes are up 4 ETH. What are we doing with some of these small ones? The VXs are still coming up. Rugs, yeah. Ether Orcs, they're back down, of course. I don't forget what I bought mine at. It was a good one, though, 0.36, I think. Rec guys at 1.16 again. Those guys, man, good for them. And that's what we're looking at today.